The whole world runs on trust. Why do we think to trust someone? Because they too will not remember our name. We have come to you with such a story. Friends, this is just a small attempt to be a good storytelling. AI images do not make anyone angry. Story inside goes back to ancient time. This is a short story about a boy looking for a job. Teju could not find all the works. He had a friend who was a commander in the army, through whom he wanted to get a job in King Palace. At first he thought it was inappropriate to ask his friend for help, but after trying everywhere and not finding a job, he decided to go to the commander. When he met the commander, he asked the commander if he could help me get a job in King Palace. They ask what skills you have, but instead of saying, "What are you?" the army chief asks. Instead of saying, "I know a little bit about everything, but I don't have any special skills," the army chief says, "Okay." The commander looked at him and thought, "How will you get a job here if you don't have any special skills?" After thinking for a while, the commander said, "Okay, let's meet the king." They went to the king. The king asked the same question. "What skills do you have?" The young man replied, "I don't have any special skills, but I can do every job. I will accompany you and pay the necessary taxes." The king thought for a moment and said, "So, come to the palace daily." The young man got a job, but he was not assigned any special tasks. He was given a job only because the commander recommended him. The boy came to the palace every day and did small tasks here and there. He was never assigned any important tasks, but the king, observing the young man's agility, decided one day to assign him a task. The king called the young man and told him that there was a village far away at the foot of the Malaga mountain, northeast of East Dissa, where they owed us money. They have not yet paid it back. I order you to go there and collect these documents from them and collect the money from them," he said. The young man immediately agreed and asked what he should bring for you when I return. The king smiled and said, "Bring it to me. What doesn't have it in this palace?" Then the king smiled and said, "It's just a simple comment." The young man mounted his horse and started his journey. As soon as he reached the village, he stood in front of the villagers and said, "The king has sent me. It's time to repay the money. You owe him money." He opened the papers and started reading how much each villager had borrowed. The villagers stood silently. Their faces were gloomy. Their eyes were filled with tears. This year, they didn't have enough money to repay the loan. That year, the crop was affected by a disease and the crop failed. They didn't have enough money to live on. And how could they repay the loan? The hero didn't know how to explain it. The young man understood their situation by looking at their faces. It was winter, and the villagers had lit a fire to keep warm. He looked at them and said, "You don't have to repay the king's loan. Forget it." The villagers were shocked and couldn't believe what they were hearing. "We don't have to repay the loan." They asked, "What did you say?" The young man nodded and said, "Yes, you don't have to discuss it again. But what will one of the villagers say about the papers with our fingerprints? If the king gets those papers back, he can send someone else to collect the money." Hero thought for a moment and took the papers and threw them into the fire. The papers were completely burnt. Along with them, all the records of the villagers' debts were gone. The villagers couldn't believe that their money would really be forgiven and there would be no going back. They were very happy. "That hero has blessed you all. You have done us a favor that no one else has done. May you always be happy and successful," he said. When the boy returned to the palace and met the king, he said that the villagers could not repay the loan. Their crops were ruined and they had no money. The king was angry. "What are you saying? Didn't you bring money?" The elder brother said loudly. Hero replied calmly, "You told me to bring something that was not in the palace, so I brought it." He replied, "I'm confused about what you brought." Hero said, "I brought Namikam. I brought the love and blessings of those villagers. These are not in the palace. They're more valuable than money," he said. The king got angry and said, "Who is there to hang the fire?" Hero took away by army. Meanwhile, the commander came and took the hero from there, as they are friends. After a few days, another king attacked their kingdom. This was a terrible attack, surrounded by 4 sides of the kingdom. The king had to flee. Then the hero suddenly came and said that he knew the place where we were going. "Let's go to the village at the bottom of the mountain. The villagers will protect you." Hero sent a message to the villagers. Hero took the king and his family safely to the village. They welcomed the king and his family with joy. The villagers took care of them. They thanked him for forgiving their debt. They celebrated. The king kept them safe until he regained his strength and power. The king said, "Let's go back to his kingdom." He was getting ready to fight. He realized the true value of the blessings and prayers of the villagers. He realized that true wealth is not in material possessions, but in the relationships we build through our actions by selflessly helping others. He regained his strength, fought, and won back his kingdom. The young man, hero, played a key role in this change. The king appointed the young man as his chief advisor because his wisdom, humanity, and sense of justice became a great asset to the kingdom. The young man taught the king the value of trust and love, and the king implemented it in his rule. After the king regained his kingdom, he never forgot this incident in his life. He learned that true wealth is not in money, gold, or material possessions, but in the love, trust, and relationships built between human beings. He understood that the help and trust that the villagers gave him meant a lot to him. He decided to rule his kingdom fairly. The king went to every village in his kingdom, understanding the needs of the people, helping them, and earning their trust. He became a just ruler who treated everyone in his kingdom equally. What this story teaches us is that true wealth lies in love, trust, and humanity. The good we do for others stays with us forever. By gaining trust and love, we can gain real power, which can make our lives safer and happier. Conclusion *, the young man, hero, and the king in this story taught us a great lesson. The young man changed the king through his humanity, sense of justice and love for the people. Trust and love can become tools to overcome any problem. By helping others, by earning their trust, our lives become more meaningful and happy. Therefore, let us try to earn trust and love every day because they're the true wealth. The lesson that the young man, hero, gave us should remain with us forever. With trust and love, we can change the world. **. Friend, for more such interesting stories with favorite celebrities to do, we will do it with your support, likes, comments, and please subscribe, share this video to friends and family members. We'll meet in next video. Bye, love you.